Las Vegas at the GCA show. After 2 years of hiatus, we're back in Vegas. World's largest cardboard trade show booth. Live here in Martinsville, Indiana. Live from Norwood Royal Cigars.
When you guys said, we want you to come on the show once a month, I was like, dude, this is it.
Happy afternoon here from cloudy Florida.
Happy afternoon.
Happy afternoon.
Presented by Christoph Cigars, along with Hiram Solomon Cigars, and coming to you live from the Corona Cigar Company studios.
Hey. Welcome, everybody, to 2023. Our first show. We're back after 2 weeks. I've been dying to get back on. It wasn't, this is killing me, this time, But, guys, welcome. We hope you all had a fantastic holiday, a fantastic new year. Welcome back, and we got amazing guests tonight that we have a lot to share of. Yes, there she is. She's waving there from Cigar Box Marketing.
Started off
Cathy,
right.
Poturny
Happy
itself.
New Year, everyone. Happy 2023.
There you go.
Look.
Salud.
Will you?
And look on the bottom there. Yes.
Oh my God. What happened to the beard? What happened to the beard? No Grizzly Adams anymore.
The beard is gone. Hey, listen. This is a new year. This is a new everything. So the only thing that worried me, I was about to grab a crucifix. I thought Cathy and I were going to have to perform an exorcism with your opening credits. What was that?
It was deep, very deep.
It grabs your attention.
Did you feel it? It was
Yeah, grab mine for sure.
There was a lot going on for sure. Frank was in a deep place when he put that together.
Yes,
and,
I'm working on a new one, by the way, folks. So please bear with me. I've been a little busy for the past few weeks, but I shall put together a brand new open. It'll be exciting. It won't be as creepy for Armen. He will.
Well, welcome, everybody. Please hit the share button. We're going to have a lot of new people coming on for this year. We're expecting the show to really, bang out there. 65 plus countries and a lot of new people. There's so much that we're going to be doing differently. And we're going to bring a lot of fun. And again, laughter is part of the show. We know some people just don't like that much laughing, but it's hard because when we get started, it is what we do. But let's introduce ourselves to all you newbies out there. I'm Ronnie Pecorini. This is my man, Kyle Jesso.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. The guy in the lower end there, because our team's kind of separated down right now. We got my brother, retired Bob, there in the corner.
How you doing, folks?
He looks like a little head beeping.
He's a talking head. He's a talking head.
He looks like a little peanut head.
Listening to the Talking Heads, the first album.
Wait, is that the guy? Is that the guy that doesn't travel anymore? Is that the guy?
Yeah,
that's the guy.
One.
Yeah,
that's
he's
the one.
Bob doesn't fucking travel.
And then, obviously, the one, the only, the Chooch Master himself, Cousin Frank.
Hello.
And he's going to continue that. I thought he was saying I thought that was it. That hello was gone in 2022,
That's played out, man.
Oh, man.
New year, new him. Nah, not at all.
Well, welcome again, everybody. And again, we are excited about our two guests. And we also will bring on a special guest who just somehow just showed
on
up.
our screen.
Poof.
Who could it be now? Oh, no, we did not make any.
Oh, my God.
man.
Is that Dr. Gabby Kafie?
wow. One of our two fearless leaders. Holy cow.
I was supposed to come on at 9:30. I'll bounce back, guys.
You can't help yourself.
Bounce.
Well, welcome. Yes, there he is. The dreamer, the creator of
No.
BCA.
I love that, Ronnie. There's only one dreamer in this industry, and it ain't me, pal.
All right. There's a lot of us. We dream a lot. But welcome to our show, Gabby Kafie in 1901. Welcome.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to you and the family. And thanks for this surprise visit. This was a big surprise.
Thank you very much. I'm just here to support Armen and Cathy, and honestly, get a front row seat.
Well, you got front row, all right. You definitely got
front row. You got the bottom of. We're like Hollywood Squares. You got the lower left square, which everybody wants. That's like
incredible.
There you go.
Oh, what am I smoking? I'm smoking another BCA member, Dr. Garo. His anniversary cigar.
Yeah, excellent. This is the Kafie 1901 Connecticut.
Very nice.
That is it's going extinct, that one.
I'm smoking a legacy.
And I pulled out a DAV, of course, because that's who I knew we were going to definitely have on. But I also, on the side, I got a Café Maduro on the side.
Incredible.
So, it's going to be a 2-cigar smoke for me tonight. And Teresa's already on her 4th, but that's all right.
Teresa had her 4th. I thought she's on like her 6th or 7th by now.
She don't stop. She's putting me in a roll call.
Well, I just dropped off a whole bag of cigars.
You did? What you give? Another 20 cigars that you brought her?
There's only 10 left.
Who let the dogs out, by the way?
I tell you,
I thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah,
that dog's got to take a leak. What can I tell you?
Wow. There's nothing like a dog peeing on the show.
Yes.
Nothing like
That's awesome.
Hey, this is our show.
It's an exclusive, just to let you know about it.
No, we do try to elevate the value and the sophistication level of what the boutique brands mean. And when we come on this show, why does it always go to the crapper?
Oh, well, crap is, we all have crap.
Go to the crapper than be in it.
You notice, Cathy, this time it happened in like record time.
Wait, Dr. Gabby's got to go. I think he just went to the side there.
I think I rest my case.
There's it is.
Honestly, I think
that dog gave me. I had to go take a quick leak.
God, I miss you guys.
Yes, it's been a while. But before we get into all of that, let's at least go to our sponsors first. Let everybody get settled in. Make sure they got their cigars, their spirits, and we have to take care of our Earthling Bruce, who always needs a break at this time.
Is he even on yet? I don't think he's on.
I think he's trying to get on. He might be lost.
Frank,
why don't you take it away for the first sponsors, and I'll reach out to Bruce.
This industry is steeped in family and tradition. There's generational stuff, and I see it over and over, and yet I didn't come from that. Being the outsider looking in, I got to ask all the silly questions, and people were very accepting to want to give me all the right answers. I'm very thankful for those people who kind of allowed me to come in. Now with Alec and Bradley in the business, to have our company become generational, that's pretty cool.
Welcome to GTO Dominican Cigars, a boutique cigar company that artfully blends and creates some of the finest handmade puros from the Cibao Valley in the Dominican Republic. We are 4th generation manufacturers and growers of tobacco with over 140 years of experience, offering a variety of styles, blends, and strengths. Mild, medium plus, and full-bodied. We would truly consider it an honor for you to experience our cigars. Those who know smoke GTO.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Years in the making, the Chief cigar was born, blended, boxed, and released to market on June 26, 2015. This cigar was developed by former fire chief, firefighter, cigar aficionado Ken Dorbecker, and has grown into a signature firehouse cigar line. All engines respond. In including, of course, The Chief, a Nicaraguan Habano blend, Proby, a Connecticut Shade blend, All Hands, a Maduro Mexican San Andreas box press, and the brand new Fire Pole, a beautifully crafted San Andreas Habano barber pole. Join the Chief family and make us part of your humidor. R&A Treasures, out of Tampa Bay, Florida. The last of a legacy. The last of an inventory of Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs.
And we're back.
There you go. There you go, folks. Thank you so much. Again, please hit the share button. Get everybody that you know to watch this show right now, because we do have 3 amazing guests. And we are going to talk about the BCA, the Boutique Cigar Association, their new website that just came out yesterday.
Just launched.
And everything else that's going on, which we are so excited about. We're part of him, and we just want this to succeed. And of course, they also have their individual businesses that we're going to talk about: DAV, Cigar Box Marketing, and Kafie 1901. So please share it all out there. If you got some questions, put it down there so we can read them and try to ask the visitors here of what's going on, so we can get your questions answered. But in the meantime, Armen, as president of the BCA, the exciting news of this incredible website that came out that the team has been working so hard on, and it's finally out there.
Yes.
Can you go into details?
You bet I can. Honestly, when you guys asked me, first of all, thank you. I'm really appreciative of you guys taking the time to invite us on your platform and allowing us to speak about all the incredible, exciting things that are happening within the BCA. Honestly, as soon as it turned 2023, I felt like a caged animal rearing to go, because there really is a lot to discuss. And first and foremost, you mentioned the new revamped, amazing website that actually just launched yesterday. And before I go into detail, I have to take the time and thank the tireless efforts of our amazing board, our incredible team, 2 of which are on here with me. I'm proud to be on here with them. Of course, Dr. Cathy, and of course, Cathy, who I always refer to her as our marketing digital guru. She's the one that spearheaded everything. She's the one that cracked the whip when she had to, kept us all in line, kept us in check. But after all these months, after all the stress, after all the hard work,
yes,
we are so incredibly proud of the end result. And we urge everybody to go and visit bca.org, because you will see we have a new membership platform. Why is everybody laughing at me?
I love it, because what's the website, Cathy?
Yeah, wait a minute. I think Armen might have got that.
He's got a
He's
Ronnie.
too excited. He's too excited.
I'm sorry, that's a blunder. Yeah, thank you.
I'm just here as a moderator.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right.
Armenism at its best.
First
Bravo.
Ronnie.
I feel like that Liberty Mutual commercial, Liberty Bibberty. Somebody just come over me, all right?
Yeah. That was your first drink of the year, everybody.
It was actually. I needed
his
one
first
for this
bottle.
show. But quite honestly, what we have for the first time are many different membership tiers. You guys can see that we really want to bring so much content for all the other boutique companies that are out there that want to make a name for themselves, that want to make a mark in the industry, that are trying to navigate through, honestly, all the difficulties that one faces when you're in the tobacco industry. We want to educate people. We want to help them grow their business.
Honestly, somebody killing a mouse.
What are you guys doing?
Gabby was opening up a bottle and
it's like somebody's killing a mouse.
I guess it's better than choking the chicken.
Oh! Hey!
This is the influence that you guys have on me.
Terrible. Guys, cut the laughing out. Let's get serious.
Armen, that was beautiful.
But it is kind of serious because he's absolutely right. And, we're speaking to more and more younger brands and newer brands and even some of the seasoned brands. And I can tell you that the questions, they really vary. Even, let me think about it, guys. When the podcast was getting started, there was a lot of unknowns, right? You guys have developed into this crazy, quirky, unique, platform for yourselves. Well, now, throw in the U.S. government, throw in taxes, throw in imports and exports, and then warehousing and distribution. And a sales force and operations and taxes. And it's not a joke. I talk to these brands every day, and I'm so blessed to be able to say to them, listen, we have answers for you. At questions like, how do I market my cigars? Questions like, I'm an online, I'm a manufacturer. Do I need to get a license in every state to sell my cigars online? Do I need a distributor? What's the rules and regulations? And what Armen was trying to say before you also rudely cut him off was that this is just the beginning. And it was a group effort. If it wasn't for the likes of JJ and Gabby and Armen and Alan and Dr. Garo and Jamie and whom I missed, Chet, every one of us brought something different to the table, but it's only really just begun. When you go on the site and you see what's going on, the next set of iterations is going to be, and the next set is going to be education and how we bring these smaller brands, because that's been a big discussion and you've all heard this, what does boutique mean? I'm a boutique, you're a boutique, he's a boutique, she's a boutique. Well, you know what? The defining moments are, well, if you are, then why don't you come in and join us, participate, and help your brothers and sisters of the leaf get better and move up, because there's plenty to go around. So I'm off my soapbox. Thank you very much.
No, well spoken.
Beautiful.
Incredible. Well, no, it's what you really have been working so hard for the last, I'm going to say, few years. The first real push was the first Cedar Smoke at the Creek 2 years ago, and a learning lesson. Do it again last year. More learning, more tweaking, lessons, more understanding, more involvement. And now, since then, the preparation for the next BCA festival in Miami on May 6th, an incredible mansion-like setup right on the water itself in Miami. I mean, in a short period of time, you have taken this organization to a whole nother level, and that's still ground level that we're talking about, because there's still so much more to go. And we talked a little bit earlier about pavilions, where we're now coming together as a big community and putting 25 BCA boutique cigar companies together to grow as a family, to really make an announcement saying, we're here, we're helping the little guys to help build, so maybe someday they can also be the bigger guys.
This is just the beginning of the fight. The fight isn't even near
spring training.
Starting.
That's all. This is
the beginning of the fight that we have, and all of us have the same fight, and that's against the FDA.
The FDA, absolutely. That's the big fight that we're trying to win, so that smaller companies have a chance to keep their families growing and putting food on their table.
No, it's not just their families; it's the families of their workers, the families of the factory workers, the whole culture. Everyone has a stake in this.
Absolutely.
But it's not so much. I mean, and I think Gabby has, and Dr. Garo and Dr. Rodriguez, they stood for something a few years ago, and they continue to stand for that. But now, if you're not going to throw your hat in the ring to help, somebody has to be able to not only throw down the gauntlet, but pick it up. And that's part of the challenge that we have is, inviting the new blood in, inviting the other with this membership profile. Now, remember, just to be clear, it's not just cigar brands. Go on the website. It's distributors, it's brokers, it's media companies like you are friends of what the podcast. It's Cigar Journal, it's Cigar Public. It would be nice to, of course, have more inclusion with some of the other media outlets being able to pick up our press, because this is important. And you said the little guys, the smaller boutiques, the guys and the gals that are really looking to make a name for themselves and support their community and their families. So it's a fight, but everyone has to participate, or should.
Armen, how have you seen things grow in the last 2 years as president, and your excitement level, or what do you see in general?
It's grown exponentially. It has. I try to go without expectations, but I do like to set goals, and I think we've far exceeded that. And we've seen that in terms of membership. We've seen that with the growing number of not only attendees but also participants in our festivals. You yourself mentioned earlier the other event that we're planning, a very, very nice upscale Miami cigar event. So, all of these things just don't happen on their own. You need to have a team, not just a few board members. So looking at the numbers for the 2 festivals that we did in Indiana, looking at what we're planning ahead, you also brought up the pavilions. We have been invited graciously by the team at Intertabac for Dortmund, Germany, this coming September. Of course, we are elated to have a pavilion at this year's PCA. They've honestly rolled out the red carpet. I thank them for it, and they've done a tremendous job. We have been in meetings with Scott Pierce and with Lisa Cox. Forgive me if I didn't mention everybody's names, but that's just to name a couple. So great things are happening. Now the website. So all those things now that I just mentioned, they speak volumes. And as you said, this is still just the beginning. I mean, now we have everything in place. We have the right team. We can only go up from here.
I have a question for you, Armen.
No.
No? Okay. Now pass.
Go for it. I'm all yours.
What, looking back at the beginnings of DAV, and getting off the ground, do you think that companies now, today, have a better chance at making it because of organizations like the BCA that Dr. Gabby created, or do you think it's just as difficult or not as much?
Well, look, the BCA and everything that it represents and everything that we're ready, willing, and able to do for new companies, it's certainly a very great advantage. Now, is it always going to be a walk in the park? No, because even we as companies who have been around, our individual cigar brands, the BCA being around, we never know what legislation will pass. We don't know what the FDA has in store for us down the line. Their economic circumstances, politics are involved here and abroad. So you never know. You always have to navigate through what's thrown your way. It's a challenging industry for a multitude of reasons. There's always competition because there are a lot of fantastic brands out there. But in the end, look, if you are committed to it, if you're passionate enough about it, if you're really willing to take that chance and go out on a limb, because for whatever reason, people have this misconception of this industry that, hey, Tomorrow, I get a cigar, I get a blend, I slap a band on it, and the next day I'm a rock star. That is so not the case.
No.
I mean, blood, sweat, and tears will go into this. And again, it really depends on you and if you've got the fortitude. There are a lot of fly-by-night brands, and that it is what it is. However, again, I'll say this: no matter how difficult, see, there Gabby and I are always
Gabby slitting his throat.
each other. Quite honestly, look, if the fact that there is a BCA, it's an advantage.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Well, going in with numbers. My brother Bob always said that in a fight, you want to go in with numbers. And your numbers are growing. And, again, it's still such ground floor. But I know that there's been a lot of interest, a lot of new companies that are out there. I think, Gabby, you mentioned there's over 350 boutique cigar lines that
guys,
you kind of know.
I'll be honest with you. It's if and I'm sorry to speak. I was supposed to come on later in the show.
No,
thanks for having me on.
You're there. No, good.
I'm a little shy,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shy.
Like
Yeah.
Tarantula. Go ahead.
If there's half of the companies, I think that they're owned by small part-time entrepreneurs. There's a small chunk where people are doing it 100%, meaning that's their core job or their core profession.
Yeah.
But there's another angle to the boutique cigar segment that very few people discuss, and it is the number of brick and mortar shops in the United States that have house blends.
Right.
Yes.
We have a great company right now, Sanj Patel from Sanj's Smoke Shop. This is a great example. He's producing cigars in the Dominican Republic with Eladio Diaz, who used to work with, he was the master blender for Davidoff. And Sanj is, according to the numbers, producing nearly 1 million cigars a year.
Wow.
He's a boutique cigar brand owner. He's disruptive. He's one of the top retailers in New York. So what's happened is that the original numbers of 300, no. I think, look, if you look at the craft beer segment, right? Completely different industry. There's about 6,000 small craft brewers across America.
And they pop up overnight too. They just keep popping up.
Yeah. I think if we really look at the boutique cigar segment, what we're doing is I think we're daydreaming, trying to build this association, but that's how everything starts is with this idea, this concept to organize and to solve problems, because everybody's got problems, right? In the past week, I've encountered boutique cigar companies. One company has no idea where to start designing their cigar band. Another company has no idea what type of file format their design should be in. Is it JPEG, PNG, PDF? Is it AI? Is it a Photoshop file? They have no clue. They don't have any idea of how many layers go into it. There's an embossing layer, CYMK layer. There's the vector outline of the artwork. If you're going to have gold foil, gold powder, different printers do. So you can have a whole 1 week conversation on just printing the damn cigar band, which is to me, one of the most beautiful things there is.
Yes.
But then we got boxes. The boxes is like walking into Toys R Us and your mother saying, pick a toy.
Oh yeah.
There's so many different types of cedar. People think cedar is cedar. There's variations of cedar. There's okumen. There's different types of plywoods that are being used. Some come from China. Some are domestic. Some have termites in it. I shit you not.
Wow.
Shipments come into the U.S. The guy says, I got a really good deal on these boxes. Next thing you know, the boxes are falling into sawdust.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if that's just the cigar bands, the designs, and the boxes, you don't want to know. The biggest thing that drives me crazy in this industry is the making of a cigar. It drives me nuts because everyone sees a cigar maker rolling a cigar, okay? The process of making a cigar by hand is a skill that only a few people should really, really say that they can do. Because a lot of people are out there just rolling a wrapper on a binder filler that's been pre-made somewhere else.
Correct.
But the actual torcedor, when he takes the binder, the filler, the wrapper, and he takes the ratios and he's understanding how to work the tobaccos to get the blend consistency and continuity. Those are little details that has to be respected. And there's a culture when it comes to cigar making. So what happens is what the BCA is trying to do is trying to take all this noise that's existing, because every cigar brand is a personality. And we want to really respect the personalities, put them aside, but we want to focus on it, making companies better. Because when we make companies better, our industry thrives.
Yes.
When our industry thrives, connoisseurs win. And that's the whole concept of the BCA. There are too many companies out there. In the beginning, I know Armen loves it when I say in the beginning. In the beginning.
He's not a New Yorker.
I wasted 2 years of my professional career in the cigar industry trying to figure shit out. And then it took me 8 years to finally work with the box factory that I'm working with now to take the quality of my boxes to the level. It took me a decade. That shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You
right.
know?
And that's a lot of time, money, and effort that was spent that could have been, spent elsewhere, literally.
But it's the learning curve, right? And that's why I believe my company is where it's at today.
Yeah.
However,
invested.
I don't feel that other people should go through the same suffering and the same having to spend $1 million over 2-3 years just to get to where I'm at now or more. I'm using fake numbers, by the way. If I use real numbers, you would all faint. But, well, that's the best. And I have had this conversation day in and day out. That's how we met. We were like each other's therapist. And then poor Cathy came along, handing out Lexapro.
My husband says to me, "Wait a minute, it's 4:00. You haven't talked to Gabby 5 times today?"
But the most important thing is that everything that you just mentioned, Gabby, is what a new company or even an older company who don't have a resource somewhere is what the BCA can help them with. Because you guys already been through the battlefields. You've been up and down the ladder so many times. The BCA is there to assist them to help save time, energy,
correct.
wasted money to try to get them to help them to get to the next level.
If I may say something,
sure.
Ronnie, first of all, thanks for having me on.
No problem.
And Armen and Cathy, thanks for letting me speak.
So we couldn't stop you if we wanted to.
Yeah. I used to be a big fisherman, right? A big angler, and I fished Atlantic, Pacific, streams, fly fishing, you name it. I did it. I do it. There's this mentality with me as a fisherman that you can have every lure, every reel, every rod, every you can have everything. You can walk into Bass Pro Shops and walk out with the back of your truck full of toys, right?
Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean that you're going to go out and catch fish.
Right.
And that's the dilemma in this industry, is that the cigar industry is so rich in culture. First of all, I think being bilingual allows me to really understand the tobacco world on a different level of what it means, not just as a crop, right? In the old days, it was called the cash crop, right. But also what it means. Carlito Fuente refers to tobacco as a spiritual leaf. The native Indians used to use it in their rituals to pray to the gods. So there's a lot of culture that goes into tobacco. And what's happening to the cigar industry today is that it just seems that anybody and everybody can come in, slap a band on, like Armen said, and go out there and sell a stick. Now, the biggest insult to a cigar is calling it a stick. And 90% of our industry seems to, maybe it's the casual nature of how we approach things nowadays. We're a lot more casual. But when I look at cigar culture outside the U.S., there's such a level of respect and dignity and honor that comes for cigar families, that comes with seed. When I say seed legacies, I'm talking about families like the Mirafels, going back 400 years, growing Sumatra seed in Cameroon, Africa, developing some of the finest tobacco wrapper in the world. There's 400 years of legacy, and that means something. And for the Boutique Cigar Association, Armen, he takes great pride in himself, his family, his heritage, his faith, as I do. So does Cathy. So does everybody else. But what happens is that sometimes when you're so passionate about self, okay, and you're so entrenched in the culture of self, like I'll tell you guys something that probably nobody knows. I look at my wife, and my wife's great-great-grandmother was mayor of Bethlehem. Like, people, like, when we look at the fact that there's 2 billion Christians around the world, and I look at my wife's bloodline having such a heritage, it means great pride and dignity to our family. So everything that I do as a businessman, as a business owner, intellectual property that I share, the camaraderie that we have with the BCA board, it means something to me and to us. This is our life. This is not just like slap a band on it, go sell a stick. So what happens is the PCA, we've identified several problems, and Armen is always very professional. He's a gentleman. Cathy, not so much, but
I am not a gentleman. I can assure you.
But you know what? There are quiet conversations that happen behind the scenes. First of all, I have to tip my hat off to the PCA. That's a nice way of saying I should be kissing their ass, because they're allowing us to do what we're doing. They're allowing small boutique cigar companies to be a part of the PCA at a much more affordable price.
Right.
But also we've as a community of cigar companies, family owned, have identified that the PCA over the past few years has had a slight decrease in attendance, and everybody knows it. It's not a surprise. It's not like, oh, Gabby Kafie said this. It's out there. It's written. Every blogger writes about it, right? But we're not here being haters. We're not here talking bad about, oh, the attendance is down. We're here trying to solve the problem. Why are there less companies at PCA? How do we get more retailers to PCA? How do we support our industry in a way where our industry can thrive? And if you want to know what the BCA is about, it's exactly about those things.
Right.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to get involved. Listen, if you love this industry and you believe in this industry and you want to see this industry thrive, it's not a matter of should you, it's when. You should go to that website, boutiquecigarassociation.com, and start looking at how to get involved, because I've been carrying this baton for 6 years. I handed it off to Armen. Armen gave it to Cathy. And you know what? We've got a whole staff of 7 board of directors, 15 committee members that plan festivals. Our last festival was 850 people.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, indeed.
Yes.
And we're doing this out of love and passion.
The passion.
And this is everything that we stand for. And you know what? You know who sees it? The PCA sees it. You know who sees it? Cigar Rights of America sees it, because they send representatives to our festivals. You know who sees it? Cigars for Warriors sees it. They see everything that we're doing. It's unfortunate, though, that there are some boutique cigar companies that let egos or pride or whatever thing that's going on in their head get. We're at the ground floor, guys. Right now is the time you can get involved, and you can decide where this thing goes, because we're all taking turns driving this vehicle. It's not like one person is taking it in a certain direction. This is a community, and the community decides where we go. And what we're doing is very noble. And I think everyone should be, honestly, we should toast to every board member, to every committee member, and to Ronnie and the guys at the Great Cigar and Pipe Show. You're killing me, Ronnie.
Don't blame me. Blame Bob and Frank.
Yeah, but thank you so much for everything. And
absolutely.
And
cheers.
This energy level doesn't go away. This is
no, it doesn't. And
No.
you asked a good question, Frank, and I would love to see that elaborated on about the smaller businesses for the audience too, because I think one of the things for the people that come and watch the show, either they are friends of the show, friends of the brands, their own boutiques, their own retailers. But, everyone on here tonight, your participation is also appreciated, because guess what? At the end of the day, we're all selling to the consumer. When the consumer stops buying, every person on here does not have a job.
Right.
So you have to recognize as a consumer that you're just as impactful and important, and we want you to be a part of it as well, because there is a place to be a member of the BCA and have a voice in our organization. So you have to think about that too. It is a matter of, what is it? Rising tides lift all boats. Yep. But if you have a mentor, and I say this with all sincerity, and anyone that knows me knows I don't bullshit and I never say anything I don't mean. In fact, I'm probably a little too honest. Is every single time I have a conversation with Gabby, and there's times we don't agree, but I learn something. It's always this, for me, I'm meeting Moses on the top of the mountain because I'm learning something new. And whether it's the littlest things, because now what I do is I take that and I apply that to every single client that comes to me that's a BCA member or wants to be. And I now have even more knowledge so that when they ask a question, I can set them in the right direction, because that's in effect what we're doing. And having a mentor, having a group that you can go to, that's extremely important.
Yes. You know, one of the things that I think is the most difficult is getting shelf space on in a brick and mortar, right? So that is really I'll call it, that's the ultimate goal, right? For every boutique brand, is to be able to have some shelf space somewhere. I think now that the PCA acknowledged and is allowing the BCA consortium of a family of boutique cigars in, it gives a visual presence now at the PCA that was never there, because they were just scattered, kind of like one little company out here, another one in left field, and another one out here. So a retailer couldn't really, didn't have the time to get to everyone. So now having a central location, you've accomplished a major thing here. So kudos.
You better believe that, my friend, because unfortunately, and again, that's another reason I commend the PCA for understanding that problem, for having that vision, and also the willingness to fix it. Because Dr. Gar's been going 25 years. I've been to the show. A number of boutiques have been to the show, and it can be disheartening where you put all your efforts into it, and it's a pretty costly undertaking, to say the least. And you show up, you put your best foot forward. You've got great cigars that you're extremely proud of, but they just walk past you. I might have time for you on Monday, the last day, or Tuesday before I get on my flight, kind of thing. Like not even taking the time. And I'll be very honest. Most unfortunately, and I don't know how to curtail this, but there are a lot of the bigger companies where they're sending out their specials months in advance. So the retailer's like, why the hell am I even going to bother going? I got everything I need. I got all my specials. I got all my deals. I have all my cigars. I'm done. So it's very, very, very difficult. And as I said, it's disheartening. So they get that. And now also the consumer has changed as well. Nowadays, it's not just, okay, what have I been smoking all this time? It's what's new? What can I try now? Yeah. What do you guys have? Anything new this month? I want to try it. Boutiques are really, really making a name for themselves. Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, regardless of how good your cigar is and what you went through to make that cigar, to blend that cigar, at the end of the day, you want to sell a few boxes, don't you? So now it's like trying to create an equal playing field for us, where one, it is affordable. Two, you get a certain amount of notoriety. And three, retailers are now understanding the strength of the boutiques, what they can offer, and the presence that we're going to bring this year. So it's a pivotal year, and it's going to be a game changer.
Well,
so
here's where I'm predicting, and again I've seen this, and I'm gonna get into a little story because I know the boutique brands are actually gonna flourish and thrive this year because last year, without giving names away, I'm gonna keep it very generic.
Who was it? What happened?
A friend of
name, damn you.
A friend of mine who owns a cigar shop had gone to the PCA over the summer, placed his orders with the big boys and this and that, and was expecting his shipment to come in the next few weeks so that he could stock his store up for the summer and was going to have, a good sales through the summer. Here's what happened. Almost 90% of those PCA orders didn't hit his shop until December 1st.
Wow.
So he got very, very upset with a lot of the big boys because he was banking on a lot of those inventory to come in. So he had something to sell over the summer. And I saw it when I kept going into his shop week after week. And I'm like, man, the shelves are starting to dwindle down here, and what's going on. And he's like, the product's not coming in yet. He's like, I have all these orders out there. They're not coming in. So I kind of whispered in his ear. I was like, maybe it's time to think and look at some of the boutiques, because I know the boutiques are going to be able to fill your orders, because the big boys they're overrun.
Kyle, you nailed it. I mean, that goes to maybe 500 other conversations Gabby and I have had in the past, because look, the idea that we've always had is lean and mean, to always be able to fulfill orders. And, it's sad. A lot of these companies, they wait for that money to come in at the show or anywhere else where they get the order. And then that's used to actually fulfill the order with the factory and then have that all sent out.
Yeah,
we're the opposite of that. That's not what we're about. If you're going to fill the order, you're going to make the payment, and then you're going to get that order filled ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, some people don't have to pay; they just get the product.
Yeah, but Kyle, I mean, he's not the only one, and that story, unfortunately, is all too common.
Yeah, it's written right on our show. We have a very good friend of ours, Kevin Thompson, who owns his own shop, and he actually just said it, folks. It sucks to be a shop that orders PCA specials in February, and then they're not available until August, and I'm going to say later, when you pay upon ordering.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what happens with the big boys, and that's why the BCA is making a major impact. The shop that Kyle is talking about.
We're not, no names.
I said the shop. I didn't say that.
I bet you slip a lot, Ronnie.
No,
slip a lot.
Very, very cautious. I talked to him too, and he's opening up a section for boutique cigars in his shop, because he understands. I mean, Kyle and we talk to him a lot. Kyle more because he hangs out there more, but he's beginning to understand the boutique cigars. They're changed. The science, the research that has happened has made boutique cigars on a same level playing field as the big boys. The big boys have their marketing already set and have been out there for a while. The boutique cigar companies are the little guys who are trying to figure it out, and that's where cigar box marketing comes in. That's where the BCA, where you guys are helping them grow. These smaller companies are going to make an impact in brick and mortars all around the country. And we're not going to talk about the world, but that is what's going on. And you're going to get your orders on time or a lot earlier than the big boys. And Gabby, you mentioned earlier, you're right. Why go to the PCA when you can get everything ordered 2 weeks earlier, put it in there? Why go out there and spend, a lot of money to go hang out or go party or just meet somebody?
Well,
that's not the business.
So this conversation has gone in a direction where there's a lot of language that is counterproductive, I believe, to the message that we're trying to get across as an association. And allow me to get my thoughts organized, because the concept of big boys and little companies and big companies. Look, the truth of the fact is that everybody's going to run the company that they can manage, that they can afford, that they can. It takes a lot of people, a lot of man hours, a lot of knowledge to get to that level of quality where now your product is in very high demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the industry and even PCA has addressed this. The fact that companies are offering show specials prior to the show. PCA has addressed that. They've done a very good job about it. Do companies still do it? Unfortunately, they do. Are we trying to fix it? Yes, that's being done. Now, I'm an operations guy. I'm an efficiencies guy. I'm a quality guy, right? So when I look at the energy that we're putting into the BCA, what we would like to get out of it is to make business more efficient for smaller companies.
Right.
So if we're going to go to the PCA, we will all be at a pavilion. So there's going to be 10, 20, 30 companies at the pavilion. It's going to be a destination. It's no longer going to be one here, one there, one over here. So if we can make it extremely efficient, if somebody comes to visit my booth at the pavilion, that person is interested in quality boutique cigars. As soon as I'm done with that individual retailer, I'm going to introduce him to a friend of mine that has another boutique brand that he should look at.
Yeah.
If we could just lots of times when there are financial problems in any operation, it's because it's not efficient. So a lot of the problems that we're talking about can be addressed. Now, what happens is that look, none of us are salesmen at the BCA. We're all owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like today, I went to the Ford dealer. I was looking at a car and I was attacked by 3 salesmen. And I was really impressed at how well these guys were like a symphony, just bouncing off each other, trying to figure out what the angle was to get me to buy a car, right?
Sure.
And it's at that point that I really admire and appreciate the skills, the talents, the efforts, and the mechanism of operations of the mind of the salesman, because the big boys have something we don't. They got sales forces 10, 20, 25 deep. And these guys,
marketing budgets, absolutely.
yeah, these guys are like, it's like, imagine going to a Lexus dealership, grabbing every salesman in there, wearing a suit and tie, and then having them rep your company. So basically, the first $5 million that your company sells goes to pay for the overhead of your company, right?
Yep.
Our companies are different. Armen said lean and mean. Well, with lean and mean, we have to be extra efficient. And that's the goal of the BCA, is let's collimate our energy. Let's bring ideas together. Let's be efficient. Let's be present so that we're relevant. Let's support our industry. And let's do it in a way where it doesn't cost us a lot of money and we'll see a return on our investment. The BCA is the future. It absolutely is the future. Nobody has ever attempted to do anything like this in the past. It was either you were part of the PCA or you were not. What we have done is we have built a bridge to the PCA. We have built a bridge to Intertabac. We have built bridges to festivals that focus just on boutique cigars.
Yes.
You know, and that's something that the language that we were using, the conversation, what we have done is something so beautiful and I think deserves so much credit, not for me, but for everybody that's involved, because I had an idea and everybody else saw it and they're like, holy shit, this makes sense. Let's run with it. Now, they took it to places I never dreamed of. And I think the best way to say thank you is through participation. Mm-hmm. So I want everybody to know that the website is live. It's up. We invite everybody to join, including connoisseurs. And we want everybody to know it's a non-for-profit association. Everything goes back into making our association better, stronger. We don't draw a salary. Nobody gets paid anything. It covers our overhead. Overhead meaning administrative expenses, website design, building, social media management. This is as raw and as real as it gets. And the best way to show us some love is to join. And I want everybody to know that every single company, we're bringing so many companies that were not members of PCA before. We're hoping, and we'll find out soon, The exact number I don't want to say yet because we don't know it, but we're going to add easily 15 to 25 new members to the PCA. We're bringing membership to the PCA.
Yes.
And I don't think historically there has ever been anybody that is focused on bringing new membership to PCA. Now, every member company brings member retailers. I might be attracting 10, 20, 30 new retailers that typically don't go. When we talk about PCA attendance, understand there's about 2,200 brick and mortar shop retailers in the U.S. The numbers of people that attend PCA are anywhere from 300 to 500 licensed brick and mortar retailers, plus, of course, the extra tickets they have. So if our BCA pavilion has 20 companies in it, and each one of them brings 10 retailers that they do business with, that's 200 plus retailers that are also attending PCA. So we're putting our efforts to make sure that we drive traffic to the association that is fighting tooth and nail to defend our industry. That is our way of saying thank you to PCA. Unselfish efforts, working together, both of us in a mutually symbiotic relationship to take us to the next level. I think it's amazing.
A question: can retail and retailers join the PCA as well, or are they not able to?
Sure, they can.
There's a whole list. It's pretty much the same list that we've modeled our membership after so that it wasn't confusing. Yes.
Gotcha.
Retailers, distributors, associate accessory companies that support brands, brokers, of course, brands, manufacturers. Yes.
So is there any way, this was just a thought that I had, is there any way of banding together and kind of doing almost like a boutique cigar of the month at retailers so that you can provide different retailers, different brands that they can try as part of a marketing way to get boutiques into a retailer that may not have had a boutique cigar in their shop ever, so that maybe that could be a way of kind of showcasing some brands.
So, if I may, we have discussed that. We do have some ideas that we are going to implement. My only question is to Gabby and Cathy, are we ready to divulge that at this point in time, or?
Oh, I might have hit a thing here.
You could probably tiptoe a little bit.
all right. Yeah. So the
we'll hit the ban button when you shut up.
Yeah. So the answer is absolutely. We have been looking to devise different ways to entice the retailer and to familiarize them with the different boutique companies within the BCA. So
is that almost kind of like having almost like a brokerage arm of the BCA per se, where you can.
Well, look, we're not here to sell your cigars. We're here to kind of get you
network
in the door.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's not our thing. We're helping you grow your business. We'll kind of put you on that track. But yes, we do have some ideas that we will be implementing to get those cigars into the hands of retailers.
Great.
And then again, I think we said early on that there are different phases because we couldn't eat the whole elephant. We had to take small pieces. So we're starting out one little bite at a time. And at the end, we'll be able to, get it all eaten. But I make that analogy because that's what I feel this task is. It's as large as an elephant and equally difficult if you were going to try and take the whole thing in. So we start with the website, now moving towards resurrecting some educational podcasts and some other things that we've been talking about. And again, serving as this mentorship. So the questions that I voiced earlier that I literally got today, by the way, this is not like I'm pie in the sky. These are real questions. We have discussions and an educational seminar or a session around doing those things. How do you get your message out there? Intellectual property. I know I've talked about this before. Your brand or your logo is an asset. If you haven't shored up the ownership of that asset, it doesn't matter if you have a URL or a website address called ABC Company. If somebody goes out there and buys and pays the price for that trademark on those words and that color and that logo and that design and that icon, guess what? You are SOL. Shit out of luck because you don't own it. So these are the kinds of things that when you tell brands or accessory companies or retailers, they raise an eyebrow. Yeah, you're getting incorporated. The name of your company is incorporated. Your protection stops there. So it's really a matter of being knowledgeable. And in terms of getting the messages out, the next question comes, okay, well, how often do you go sit and smoke with a retailer? Are you able to explain where your cigars are manufactured? What goes into them? How frequently you go to the to whether it's Honduras or Nicaragua or Dominican? Those are the kinds of things that you want to impart. So that's the knowledge base. Education. Who are you using for your merchant services? Who are you using for your inventory management? Who are your distributors? Who are your brokers? These are all very real questions. Licensing, branding. I need marketing material. How do I create it? I need an e-com site. I'm selling cigars through grandma's backyard and I need an e-com site.
So, Cathy, you bring up a great point because historically, if we look at which boutique cigar brands really hit the market strong 10, 15, 20 years ago, and it was people that had, not all, there were some exceptions, right? But it was people that had really a lot of intellectual property, retail experience, big players, right?
Right.
It all started with Lou Rothman, who was the founder of JR Cigars.
Yep.
Then you have families like the Levine family that developed the Ashton cigar brand, right? So here are people that are master retailers going into the manufacturing side of business. So naturally, their products are going to be a hit from day one because everything from packaging to blending to something so simple as a barcode, which is a monumental task for some people. Right. Figuring out how to put barcodes on their products. That's something that's not really commonsensical, right? You would think it is, but it really is not. It's something that one of the things I had to learn is, okay, great. I know where to get the barcode numbers and register them, but who the hell prints barcodes?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, these are things that people don't know. And if you're manufacturing in Honduras, I needed to find a printer there. If you're in the DR, I need to find a printer there. And every country has different companies that really support the industry. So over time, what has happened is I think in the past 30 years, a lot of small factories started to pop up, like mine, Armen as well. A lot of boutiques not only founded or became partners at small factories, but those small factories began to produce cigars for other people. And it's very entry level, but at the entry level, putting the tobacco aside, the blend aside, speaking just on pure business know-how, there's very few people willing to share information. Very few people. The way you get information in this industry is you have a lot of money and you go hire the right people.
So true.
And it's been an expensive process for me to get to where I'm at. And what I would like to do, because I love this industry so much, as everybody that's in the BCA, is I want to get everybody up to the point where we can bring a generalized prestige to the entire cigar community. And I'm talking about handmade premium cigars, which is a very specific category that we have been able to demarcate to our federal regulators. We don't want federal regulators to look at our industry and think of it as a joke. Think of it like any clown can come in and make any cigar and put any band on it. This is a very regulated, self-regulated, self-pride, self-dignity industry where all of us are catering to adults. And for the large part, we are. I think we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are.
And I will say this in defense of some of the companies that are making gimmicky cigars. I will say, because I can't be a hypocrite, right? They have private clubs. The only way to get that cigar is if you're an adult that joined that private club and you're a part of that private group.
Yes.
I respect that. I have all the respect for that. But we need to bring back cigar culture to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
We really
Amen to
do.
that.
For our industry to thrive, education, knowledge about the tobacco, about every aspect of what we do is that's what the BCA is. It's a resource center. PCA is run by businessmen and women. I respect it. I love it. I love everybody there. But it's pretty badass when somebody can pick up the phone and call Gabby or Armen or Cathy, and we're peers. One thing is to get advice or recommendations from peers, people that are in the trenches with you. And another thing is to pay, an attorney or some consultant. No. We have to help each other. That's what we did in every industry. People help each other. We're not trying to put anybody out of business. However, I think there are some very, very large multinational companies that are trying to put us out of business.
Right.
Yeah, we can see that for sure. Yeah. But before we continue, guys, I'm going to say let's take a sponsor break because we're getting a lot of great questions, a lot of people getting involved on the side here. So let's take a sponsor break, come back, and we'll get a little deeper into this, okay?
Sure.
All right, Frank.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
Experience the magic of Rockefeller cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, the Art of Magic.
Cigar in the Bottle is 2 palate-pleasing gifts in 1. A specially blended Grand Pommier XS VSOP Cognac is elegantly contained in patented numbered bottles. Winner of back-to-back-to-back medals at the LA Spirits Awards, Cigar in the Bottle inventor Forbidden Johnny teams up with Vartan and Hendrik Kellner for this custom-blended Vartan Reserva cigar, well-preserved in a hand-blown glass chamber featuring Boveda 2-way humidification.
It all begins at the very first climate-controlled Rodriguez Olivan cigar factory located in the Dominican Republic. Our 2 major brands include Don Olivan, which are boutique cigars suited for that individual who takes great pride in something unique. BAMF is our armed forces cigars designed for that badass mother effer. Not only are you smoking a great premium cigar, a percentage of the proceeds is donated to our heroic men and women in uniform.
And we're back. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hey, hit the share button. There's still so much to go here, and a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, and just 3 exciting guests that we have this evening. So, folks, obviously, the website's out. There's a lot to check out in there. Join anyway. Anyone can join this, it seems like, and you're going to be part of an amazing industry that has so much passion in it. And it's, I mean, I know we can speak for the 4 of us. We absolutely love this industry, or we wouldn't be doing the show here for 4.5 years every week, bringing you the finest guests on here.
Well,
and
then our own Joey G was asking, how can the whiskey industry or whiskey brands get more involved with the BCA?
I was literally going to ask your permission. I saw the question, and I was literally going to ask you if we can answer that. So right
Yep.
out of the gate, of course, because we mentioned earlier, Cathy mentioned it, Gabby did, I did. You don't have to be a cigar manufacturer to join. And we also even discussed accessories and things of that nature. The answer is yes. And also, Joe, feel free to reach out to us anytime because we can also discuss sponsorship opportunities for events that we'll be doing in the very near future. So, yes, I mean, it's a great pairing. We would love to collaborate. I mean, you always think fine spirits when you do think of a nice premium cigar.
Yes.
So, Joe, yes, and let's talk more about that in the very near future.
So I do want to say one thing, right? If I may.
Yes.
Because everything to me is about purpose, right? What's the purpose of the BCA? So I think it's important to talk about this so we don't forget. Well, 2015-16, the FDA regulations went into effect. It was, I think, August 8th of 2016, and every major company had representatives, lawyers, presence in Washington, D.C., and, you know, what's funny is my phone rang and it was Glenn Loop. Glenn Loop at the time was with Cigar Rights of Administration. He was part of their outreach program and lobbying efforts in DC. And he said, "Hey, Gabby, you're a small manufacturer." I said, "I don't want to leave you guys out. Can you fly up to DC? I would like to walk the halls of Congress. And I want you to tell people, you know, how the regulations affect a small manufacturer like you." It was at that point that I realized that there's a void in the voice for small manufacturers. And, you know, I can't be the voice. Gabby Kafie cannot be a voice for everyone. However, the Boutique Cigar Association
can. As
an association that represents small companies, we can bring all of these people together and we can represent a voice for them to defend our rights and our interests, because CRA and PCA have taken us into consideration. I got a call maybe 2 years ago. "Hey, Gabby, how many can you send me a list of all the member companies of the BCA? I would like to present that information to the National Institute of Health, the Department of Health and Human Services. I want these people to know how many companies are going to put out of business." So there is a purpose to what we do. It's kind of really interesting, right? We're trying to make our businesses better, more efficient, but also 50% of what we're doing is really having a unified voice against federal regulations. Those are two very valuable purposes. Now, you guys said at the beginning of the show that we all have businesses to run. We do our own thing. Absolutely. And the success of the BCA is in a way directly related to the success of each company that's a member of the BCA. So it is our unselfish goal to make sure that these small companies thrive, that their products are in high demand, because that brings prestige to the BCA. So it's really, I think, a beautiful thing that's happening. Now, I won't get into details. Maybe Armen will, because he's got a lot more experience going to PCA and having his own booth there. We've had people attend our meetings talking about, I won't mention names, but brand owners that have been to PCA and have spent $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in their own booth. And Armen, if you care to dive into that, what are PCA and BCA offering as far as what kind of expenses can brand owners? We don't want to go into exact numbers, but
right, we don't have
half the price. Is it a third of the price? Are we?
It's I mean, this type of value would be a dream for any boutique company looking to have presence at PCA. Otherwise, it's a near impossibility, because some of the numbers that Gabby just threw out, those are accurate numbers, and I can speak for that. Our very first year, it was over 30,000, you know, just to have a presence there and a kind of booth that we had. You know, if you're a real numbers person, and I know certainly Gabby is, what you really look for is a return on investment. Now, that becomes challenging when you're looking at those types of expenses and then expect to get that when you're basically an unknown, and those retailers are already programmed to go see, the more known companies that are out there with booths that are probably a lot larger than some of the condos that I've sold in New York.
So true.
It's like it's an impossibility when you have food and beverages and massage therapists and again these astronomical booths that literally it's a down payment on a house. How do you compete with that as far as presence?
Down payment on a $5 million house.
as far as the dollar goes. So now again, Gabby used his words very beautifully earlier when he said we are becoming the bridge between these companies, these smaller family-owned companies, and the PCA. Because hats off to PCA for allowing us to have the BCA Pavilion. It's a very strategic spot. It's going to be very eye-catching. You can really, really take the opportunity to showcase your brand, and you'll have to join BCA first. And you will then see that it is at a fraction of the cost, and what that cost is all inclusive, soup to nuts.
Yes,
your presence at the show, it's your BCA membership, your PCA membership, all of it A to Z. So I mean, nice. It's a no-brainer. I mean, had I been on the outside looking in, and I were watching this podcast and I heard this news, I'd be on the phone on the spot. I'd be on the website signing up.
So what Armen is trying to say is that cigar companies, they don't have to set up their booth. They don't have to break it down.
Nothing.
All you got to do is 3 months before, send us the graphic design of your logo, the name of your company, and everybody's booth is already going to be prefab set up. Las Vegas has this thing where you, because of their OTP tax, you got to ship cigars to a distributor there. We're bypassing all that. The pavilion is going to have, you will have the ability literally to take your cigars with you on the plane, display them at the trade show, and every evening just break down and take them with you up to your room. We've made it so easy because we realize that most boutique cigar companies are family-owned, mom and pop, maybe one or two staff. There's not many. We don't have this, what do you call it? An entourage that shows up to set up and break down. We don't have we're very, very lean. Now, what's funny is a lot of people say, oh, well, boutique cigar companies, they'll never grow. You know what's funny is a lot of the people I talk to, they're so happy with the size that they're at. I love my company. I'm in love with my company. I love the size that it is. I love the face-to-face, the one-to-one interaction with owners of brick and mortar shops. When you walk into the BCA Pavilion, you're going to talk to 20 owners. I mean, I'm not putting down big companies that have 20 salespeople working for them, but a lot of owners want to have that conversation with the owner of the company. And I think that's something that we offer, something a little more intimate, something more, one-to-one.
Yes.
There's a lot of, here's the beauty of our industry. There's room for everybody, you guys. And Cathy has certainly discovered that, because when she came into our industry a couple years back, she had this idea about helping cigar companies improve their presence, their digital presence, right?
Yes.
And one thing she has realized is that not only is there an absence of thought, most companies, we're trying to make a blend, right? We're not sitting around and seeing what our Google ranking is, or if we're, relevant on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, what's the message that we're sending out? If you look at digital impressions, and I've learned this recently on LinkedIn, it's blowing up. LinkedIn is taking over. It's really, really scary what's going on out there. And you guys have no idea. Every single month we bring on a new international distributor because of the presence that we have online. These great comments, you guys can read them later. But Kevin, sorry, love you, brother.
Now, a question for you, Gabby. A simple question is, what is the cost for membership? Because a lot of folks are probably saying, well, I bet your membership is probably pretty expensive. What does it cost?
So I'm not the expert at that. Presidente, would you like
No,
to?
it's they're all affordable. They're very nominal fees. It's you're not going to have any sticker shock. I'd rather urge for anybody that has an interest, take the initiative, go to the website. It's all there, all of it, the entire breakdown, the what it is for each category, what it offers, and what the associated cost is.
Awesome.
Now, one of the things that Cathy's putting together, and I'll let you speak about this, is we need to have educational seminars, and that's something that's will be implemented over the next every single year, every single month. Cathy, would you care to expand on that?
Absolutely. We're going to have educational seminars.
That's great.
Nice. Nice.
I love
well
it.
spoken.
A woman with
Well
no
spoken.
words.
You know what? I know her
Wow.
so well. It's been how many years? As soon as she said that with a straight face, I knew.
That's awesome.
So
You just, Kath, just sit there and look beautiful. All right. I'll
She does that already. She does that already.
So
but the reality is, and Gabby, you're absolutely right, because it's kind of twofold. Bringing my knowledge up and understanding what brick and mortars need, what brands need, what accessory companies need, and one of the things that has been very obvious is a resource where it's an open forum and there is no embarrassment for asking a question, but also to learn. And, Gabby said all the things that near and dear to my heart, your Google ranking, what your social media looks like, what your brand looks like. Those are the things that we help you do to get to the point where now it starts to help you and impact you positively. So those educational series that we're talking about now, which I'm hoping we'll be able to launch, I'm going to say in the second quarter, because I have started to put together a syllabus. But the reality is, a list of all the things we want to talk about. It's to the degree of how basic do we go. You talked about QR codes. That's on the list, right? You talked about UPC codes. That's on the list. You talked about boxes. You talked about labels. I talked about IP, and so did you.
yeah.
Those are all the things on the list. How do you then, again, we're in an industry that we're a bit hamstrung, right? Because we cannot do any type of paid advertising, no pay per click. So let me say this. If you want to drive traffic to your website and there's nothing there for them to do, there's no way to capture them as a lead and then what we would say drip on them. How do you do that? We have the resources to show you how, right? Getting materials together, not a piece of 8.5 by 11 copy paper. That's not material. That's a piece of shit. Real glossy, high quality slick sheets, sell sheets that explain your brand, right? Is it bold? Is it mild? Is it medium? The wrapper, the binder, the filler, where it was manufactured, blah, blah, blah. The reasoning behind it, a history of who you are. That goes into building your packaging, building your brand awareness, your standards. So, and there's a million other things that I'm sure anybody here is going, what about this? What about this? What about this? Well, you know something? Take the time. If there's something you want to learn about, let us know.
Yeah, go to the website.
The idea is that whatever topic we will be touching upon each month, and it will be held on a Zoom call where everybody can call in and join all the membership, is that we're going to bring in an expert to discuss that field. And we can ask them anything. And I'll be asking questions just like everybody else here. One of the things that probably one of the most important questions that I get asked on a monthly basis is, how do I find an importer that can import the cigars for me to the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Because importing tobacco into the U.S. has to go through customs. It has to go through paying customs fees, and it has to go through an FDA inspection. Mm-hmm. Are your products registered with the FDA? Because about 1.5 years ago, the FDA published an article saying that they reserve the right to seize and destroy any products that are not registered with the FDA. Now, mind you, even though they made that statement, I believe that they have not yet put together a task force to begin to execute on that statement.
Correct.
But will it happen? I do believe it will happen soon if you're not registered. Now, in the future, 2, 3, maybe, I don't know how many years out, we bought some serious time with this lawsuit that the PCA and CRA have been spearheading. We have bought some time. However, I don't think we're going to get an exemption for premium cigars, but we're going to be regulated to a more lighter standard. That still means that we have to be registered with the FDA. And registration with the FDA begins with intellectual property. Do you have a trademark? Do you have... They want identifying barcodes for every SKU, every cigar, every vitola, every blend. You can't just send, chicken scratch to them and paper and pencil and say, these are my cigars. Can you register them? They don't know how to register products that are not, up to modern times.
1,000% right. And basically, to sum it up, we will help guide these companies to be compliant, period.
And that's the biggest thing for a small company to understand. And again, you guys are the source of how they can continue to grow and get the knowledge, again, the education, everything. Do we have a question here from our friend Larry Frank? He basically wants to know are there events that the public can attend? Larry, yes. Go to the website and you'll be able to see what's going on. A big one, and Gabby, I'm going to ask you quickly, Miami, May 6th. Can you give the audience a little bit of what's happening with the festival of 2023 for the BCA?
So it's the past 2 years we've done a festival. We do a yearly festival. The past 2 years it was in Martinsville, Indiana. This year there's been a few people that want to move it to Miami. Why? Because Miami is a cigar mecca, right? There's over 25 different companies distributing cigars out of Miami. It's the main city where cigars are imported to. I think Tampa and Miami are the two big cities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're planning a festival May 6th on a Saturday. It's a one-day festival. This one will be smaller. Every year they kind of alternate. The first festival, we really proved that we can have a festival, and we had about 350 to 375 attendees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept of proving that we can have a festival for Boutique Cigars was executed. On year 2, we wanted to grow the festival. We really grew it. I mean, over 800 people attended year 2. And what's happening is that we're realizing that when they get too big, we lose the quality of the interactions between the owners, the brand owners, the company, the factory owners, and the people that attend. So this year we really are looking to have a smaller scale, high quality festival and cater to the local Florida market, although people outside of Florida can come. This year we're capping it at 200 tickets. We're actively working on this. It's going to be very difficult to execute. I think we can pull it off. We pulled off bigger festivals. I think we can do this one. But yeah, we're having a meeting actually tomorrow night about everything from food to drinks to music to how many companies are going to be there. And the problem with having a smaller festival is that we can't have as many companies as we would like there.
Mm-hmm.
But every year we're going to do a different festival in a different location, and hopefully we'll bring regional brands. I know Texas has come up as another place where to do a festival.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen.
So we're taking things 1 year at a time. Most associations in our industry have been around for 75 plus years. This is year number 2 officially that we've been active. This will be our 3rd festival. So as information is ready to launch, we will let you guys know. There will be a website where you can buy tickets, and it's a lot of work. If I don't speak a lot about it, is because I don't like to hype things up until they're ready to be hyped up.
Yes. Yeah.
Fair enough. So I'm big. I mean, we talked a lot about what's going on with the BCA, but I just want to grab a little bit quick now, individually. So, Armen, I want you, if you want, let's talk a little bit about DAV, then Cathy, Cigar Box, and then Gabby, Kafie 1901. And then we're going to go to our sponsors and get ready for the segment that everybody loves to hear, Smoke the Juice. So, Armen, tell us a little bit about DAV.
So we're transitioning, and now it's going to be DAV undergarments. We're getting into undergarments.
Oh, all right. Victoria's Secret at its best. With Armen specializing. Are you going to do your own modeling?
Oh, God.
That'll cost a little extra, honestly. But in all honesty, and thank you for the opportunity. And by the way, Val sends his warm regards. I told him that I was going to be on. So
nice.
Hello and happy New Year from Val.
Thanks.
Yeah, Val. I mean, you guys were at the festival this past year where we unveiled our 5-year anniversary, and in the past year we also introduced the Series A and the Series 1918. We will be working on newer blends as well, but in the meantime, the biggest news, I suppose, is that we are slowly transitioning out of doing the 10 count boxes, and they will be either 20 or 24 count boxes.
Nice.
Old school.
Nice.
Very good.
That is the most immediate news. I wish I could bring you something more earth-shattering, but that's it for now. We're working on a couple other things, but we'll discuss that in due time.
We have a little more time. Yes, indeed. Cathy, let's talk about this wonderful cigar box marketing company.
Yay.
Sure. I've been so damn busy with these lunatics at the BCA. Haven't done much of anything else. But it's given me great joy. As you guys know, principal of Cigar Box Marketing, we are a digital marketing agency. I think what makes us different is we're so emotionally involved in the BCA and its success. And it brings us to a whole new understanding to be able to help cigar brands. Again, we know what brands and anybody in the cigar industry can and can't do. So we have alternative solutions to help you grow your business. And the best way that I can possibly explain it is, reach out to me at Learn More at Cigar Box Marketing. 15 minutes. I guarantee you that I can give you at least maybe 10 things, at the very least 5 or 6 things that you can do to help yourself, and at least just substantiate that we kind of know what we're talking about, and then we take it from there. There has never been a brand that I've sat with that I didn't, show them 5 things that they can immediately do just to improve their digital foundation. Because at the end of the day, if 93% of people that are out there searching for goods and services are finding what they need and they're not finding you, then you are doing something wrong. So ask us how we can help you.
Awesome, Cathy.
Nice.
Doing a great job, too. And a lot of people have been jumping on board that I've noticed. Gabby.
Thank you to you guys.
Our pleasure, my love. Gabby, let's talk about the big move and what's going on with Kafie 1901.
There's one thing I've learned. First of all, thanks for having me on. I wasn't planning on being on. I'm honored, grateful. I would not be where I am today without my comrade, Armen Caprielian, without the support of Cathy, without the guidance. You take professionals like these, and these are very high IQ people, right? Very intelligent people, passionate, driven. And what happens is that when you surround yourself with people like them and other members of the board, and people like Chet, Alan Rouleau, even Ronnie's been a part of our movement. I hope I don't leave any names out. JJ, Jamie. Every single person that I've mentioned is always trying to figure out how to do things better. And for me as a cigar maker, for the past 9 years, that has been my one and only focus. And I've been blessed to have received a lot of accolades from different magazines and different bloggers out there who have been really kind to us. But when you get nominated Best Value Cigar or Best Cigar Honduras, that's that's like, that puts more pressure on me. The pressure comes from the pre-industry side of cigar making. I talked about earlier, the art of cigar rolling, and that's the last steps of the cigar making process. But right now I'm really focused on the 2, 3, 4 years of tobacco processing and knowledge and blending that it takes to really get to that point where we can make a blend that is well received by the public and that people want to buy again and again and again. All of the cigars that we've introduced to date this year are all permanent blends. Now, a lot of boutiques, very few of them actually focus on having a core line. The leading companies in the BCA have a core line. They have blends that they have perfected. They have blends that they continue to produce. And I think that's the direction. That is how companies get to establish predictable income, is by having core lines that are in demand and to maintain that constant demand. You can make a great cigar, but can you do it year after year?
Right.
That's where the pre-industry knowledge of the tobacco comes in, is how do you maintain that blend? How do you keep it going? And for me, I outgrew our capabilities in Honduras. We were limited in natural resources. We were limited in tobacco. We had, I believe, limited knowledge when it came to tobaccos outside of Honduras, Nicaragua. Now we're working with tobaccos from Africa. We're working with tobaccos from Sumatra, Ecuador, Peru. There's so much knowledge that I had to move my company to a well-established factory that I could learn from. So this is a never-ending learning process, and I'm going on that journey now. But it never ends. I think the quest is always to improve. And we're 9 years in business. Every year we've had positive growth. And in order to continue to grow, we need to continuously improve. So that's where we're at.
Beautiful. Congratulations. And
thank you.
I've had your new blends, and they're grand slams, Gabby.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They're very good.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, folks, we're going to take our last sponsor break. And when we come back, Cousin Frank will have his history questions to make this panel look like a bunch of chooches. And then you, the listener, you too can try to become a chooch, because of course we know we have Joey G out there just waiting to show us how
Our resident
he
chooch
is. All right. Hold on, everybody. Frank, let's take it away.
Howard G Cigars is a dynamic new cigar brand grown from a love for cigar culture and a respect for the artisanship behind the craft. We are a minority-owned family business based in Orlando, Florida. Our current collection delivers 3 exclusive lines: Black Moses, Magic Stick, All Pro Series, featuring Leon Searcy's signature cigar and Ike Taylor's one-of-a-kind.
You got the one-of-a-kind rankings. They got me at 89. I'm cool with that.
We are focused on evolving as a dynamic brand and bringing you new flavor-filled blends that you'll enjoy and want to share. Visit our website at www.howardgcigars.com. You can find a full list of our retail partners there too. Thank you for making us part of your humidor. DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. Blue Smoke Atlanta is the vision of Robin Blue, founder and CEO, and represents an award-winning luxury smoking accessory line based in Atlanta and sold worldwide. Since 2019, Blue Smoke Atlanta's goal was to redefine traditional smoking accessories into a timeless collection of exquisitely handcrafted luxury products to include cigar pokers, cannabis clips, jewelry, and other awesome things. For an elevated smoking experience, visit us at www.bluesmokeatl.com.
At Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco, we specialize solely in the finest hand-rolled, craft, and boutique cigars on the market. Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco is sure to have something that will excite you. Shop our online humidor at www.mountainsmokewv.com.
And we're back.
All right, everybody, hit that share button, and let's have some fun here and some good laughs. Frank, do your schmeal there.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, this segment is sponsored by our friend David Blanco of the Blanco Cigar Company. So it's time to play Smoke the Huge. And I'm a lover of history, Gabby. You know this.
Oh, I'm screwed.
It's gonna be history from the 1600s.
Listen,
Yeah.
history is in the past, Kyle. So yes, it may include dates that precede even Bob's birth. So yes, Bob is there. Yes. So I can never start this segment without my mascot, obviously, and he always makes his debut, and this is his first debut in 2023.
You love her, don't you?
Or Chooch, as we like to call him.
I once partied with that mascot in Mexico.
In Tijuana, right?
Yeah.
So, on this date in history, 1870, folks. 1870s, folks. Armen, you should guess this one.
How old do you think I am?
No, you'll understand when I ask the question why you should get this.
Okay.
Construction work begins on this bridge.
Brooklyn.
There we go. Kyle.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I actually knew that answer.
But you were slow.
Why are you hitting me?
Because he was going to get Armen.
Armen's
knew.
not speaking up here.
See, Armen, they made you look like a chooch on that. I'm sorry.
Apparently, I don't even have to open my mouth to be
I'll move this up a few years. I'll move this up.
1871.
No. We're gonna go to 1969. 1969.
Oh God!
He still wasn't born, but that's
a great year. Armen was born in 69.
No,
Come
he
on.
wasn't.
No,
he wasn't.
No.
Come on, Armen.
Armen's not that old.
73, my man.
73.
Yeah.
What the heck? Well, so, anyway,
I graduated grammar school.
You're dating yourself.
Hey, I'm the baby on this panel. I just realized that. Isn't that right?
I love
Gabby.
Did we catch Gabby's finger on that one? He's scratching
Or
his head.
Kathy's too.
Hey, I'm younger than all of you.
So Ronnie, what is our? Now that what are we giving away to our audience member that guesses the correct answer? We might as well show them, give them a tease as to what they may expect from us here at the Great Cigar and Pipe Show.
Well, because we're talking about BCA and our festivals and all, I have a fabulous, one of the best polos I ever wore.
And he did wear it.
Look
at it.
So
Literally, that one.
Hey, I hope you washed it.
It's called a pre-worn.
Pre-worn.
And pre-stretched.
Does it have a belly?
It started off as a small and now it's a triple XL.
It does fit
That was
well.
one more than tent maker size.
this is a cigar hat, but we also have one from that matches Smoke at the Creek.
Nice.
And we also have a Land Shark lighter by our friend Alan Gold there.
Beautiful.
And it's a really nice lighter.
And it actually works.
Yeah.
And this one works. Yeah, I'll have to take
give it 2 more minutes. It'll be out of fluid for you.
Okay, so that sounds like, hey, I too bad I can't win those things. I never get any swag, but hey, Ronnie gets all the swag. We're working on the swag. Okay, for you chooches, another question. I figure, keep you guys in the know. 1969, Bob. 1969. I point to Bob because he should know these things.
You remember that year, Bob?
He was retired in 69.
Mentally, you don't remember crap, but that's okay.
Bob was there, but not in mind.
Right, that's right.
Well, you know what they say, if you remember the 60s, you weren't there.
Okay, a new album is produced by John Lennon, featuring John and Yoko,
Two virgins
in the nude. There
Two
we
virgins.
go, Bob. I knew who to ask, right? I knew Two Virgins. That was not Bob in 1969. I think he lost his virginity in 1869.
Summer of Love, all that. Remember?
Exactly.
Well, you and I are the only ones who can remember that.
Under
Everybody
the
else was younger.
construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, yeah.
Bob was there putting in the stones.
No, that was at Stonehenge.
Thanks, Cat.
We're going to move back a few years to 1938, guys. On this date in history, 1938. Gabby, you should get this one. And he'll understand why. On this date, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, himself a victim of polio, founds the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, which is later renamed. What was it renamed?
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Hold on.
He's working at it. He's working at it. Watch Bruce Stark come up with this one.
The only thing
I'm going to give you a little hint. A penny for your thoughts.
The only thing I can think of is March of Dimes.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. See, I put Gabby on the spot, but he delivered. He delivered.
Yeah.
Bruce also delivered. He's got Alexa right next to him.
Yeah. Bruce's Google is going over
Every
time.
single thing that could possibly happen in history on this day, he has on a piece of paper.
He has it all. Okay.
Hey, Dr. Oscar Rodriguez said, I know, but he didn't answer. He just says, I know. All right, Oscar, I love you, brother.
Oscar, you blonde.
GTO.
On this date in history, in 1977, this company incorporates 6 months after begin selling this computer for $666.66.
Damn.
What is the
Apple.
IBM?
Apple.
You know what?
Yeah,
are you
Apple.
serious? That was the price.
That was the price. That's the demon price. What the
Yeah.
heck are they thinking?
Well, hold on. I mean, look at the logo for Apple. It's the bitten apple, right?
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
Bad news. It's a very bad deal.
Wow, that is messed up. So I'm going to come out with a new cigar brand. I have some ideas now.
Patent pending.
Tell us. We won't let nobody know. Don't worry.
One more for you chooches.
All right.
We're going to go back to 1924, folks. 1924. Hey,
Bob
listen.
was a teenager.
Yeah, Bob was in his, Bob was sowing his seeds.
He was hanging out with the Great Gatsby.
A precious treasure was found located near Luxor, Egypt.
King Tut's tomb.
Look at Bob.
Wow.
Really?
What do you want?
Frank, that was perfect.
That was one of the places where Bob visited.
I was the treasure.
He was there. Bob was there.
What do you expect from our senior citizen? I mean, really.
Bob actually was one of the guys who rapped King Tut.
I was thinking Bob is the one that tripped over the stone, and they're like, "What is this?" And it turned into a pyramid.
All right,
God.
this is the question for everybody out there. I didn't have time. I didn't have
for
time.
the audience.
I didn't have time to give you a visual clue, so you're going to have to listen and pay very close attention. This is for the prizes. So if you want that gently used polo,
I swear I didn't wear it yet.
And gently use the lighter.
This company in 1921 decided to no longer manufacture farm wagons. And they had been manufacturing farm wagons since the year 1852. And in 1902, the company had begun producing electric cars. And then in 1904, they started producing gas-powered vehicles.
Wow.
What is the name of this company?
I can only think of Ford Motor Company.
You better not guess,
All right,
Gabby.
but
because
don't
otherwise
say
you win.
anything. This is for the audience.
Harry Bones, good guess, but no. Tim, good guess, but no. Chooch. Just pointing out the chooches here. I'll give you another little.
There's the biggest chooch right there.
Look at this is Red Rider. Yeah, good one, Kelly. I'll give you another little tidbit of a hint here. In 1954, they merged with Packard.
With who?
Packard.
They merged with Packard, and then they officially stopped producing in Canada in 1966. Oh, Larry Frank says Studebaker.
Is it really? Wow.
And it's Studebaker.
Wow.
Larry Frank. Studebaker.
Awesome
That was
job,
not an
Larry.
easy one, guys. That wasn't an easy one.
Well, Larry's just hanging out in North Carolina doing his thing. There you go.
I have to say something. First, congrats, Larry. Second, Armen, I think your painting is possessed.
It is. It's doing all kinds of weird things back there.
His painting is snowing.
It started happening right after I commented about the exorcism.
I wanted to get a good visual of that. It's a moving paint.
It's snowing.
That's the weather forecast for tomorrow.
Oh, don't tell me that, Armen. I can't even deal with it.
I know. No, we're good. We're good. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Awesome. Well, folks, we want to thank all three of you for coming on. Gabby, at the last second, I know you've been
Thank
super
you, man.
busy.
Thank you.
Really, thank you so much for telling us about the BCA and its wonderful future and what the plans are. I know we're going to be talking about this throughout the entire year, watching the growth happen, and I'm so excited about it. I know the four of us are excited to get down to Miami to be part of the show and obviously part of the PCA, the Pavilion. So thank you for all of that and inviting us to be part of the BCA. And we look so forward to, again, not sponsoring, but talking about all the other new BCA companies that are out there, those who've been with us and the new ones that we are looking forward to be part of this show. So to the three of you, thank you. Thank you for your time tonight and for your knowledge, your wisdom, and your passion in the industry.
And your cigar. Say thank you for you guys for always supporting us in all of our endeavors throughout the festivals, physically being out there for that. Always engaged, always asking what part you guys can play. So it's a tremendous honor. We really appreciate it. We're proud of you guys because it's not just the BCA. You guys from day one and to where you are now, the way you guys have grown, it's really nice to see that. It's very rewarding. And I know that 2023 will be a pivotal year for all of us. And I just, I just enjoy the ride with such a tremendous group of individuals. And if I may redeem myself, for everybody, once again, I'd like to leave off with, please join BoutiqueCigarAssociation.com.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Well,
That's
Armen,
why you get paid the big bucks, Armen.
Yeah.
Armen, thank you to you and Val for being really one of our first sponsors of the show 4.5 years ago. Thank you for the.
There's the catalyst right there.
Yeah.
Well,
without Cathy,
there'd be no Armen.
Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
Without Gabby, there'd be
I gotta
no
have a
Armen.
little self-promotion.
Cathy, what can I
Armen,
say?
send our best to Val,
Yes.
please.
You better believe it.
You got it. Anyway, folks, thank you so much.
Thanks to
Thank
the
you,
audience. You
listeners.
guys are great. It's so much fun to look at the damn crazy questions and comments, and I love it.
Yes, for sure. Thank you all very much.
Our loyal listeners. So again,
Thank you,
folks,
guys.
thank you for joining us on our first show of the year. We have so much to bring and a lot of new happenings. We're just giving Frank a little time to settle in. He's got a lot on his plate, but you're going to see a lot of different things on the show coming up, and we're
Very
so excited
interesting
about
things. Very interesting things.
We're all looking forward to it.
Absolutely. From all of us to all of you guys, till next
Thank
week.
you.
Have a great one. Light them up and enjoy.
Good night,
Have a good
everybody.
evening,
Happy New Year.
everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank
Happy New
you.
Year.
Good evening.
Cheers.
Good night.
Many of the cigar brands that we make, they're antique, historic cigar brands. They've been made on and off for about 100 years. When you're smoking Toscano, you're smoking 206 years of history.
The Italians are here.
We're for some reason, we'll find a lot of Italians on this show.
Listen, I'm a Jersey guy.
Hey,
so,
we won't hold that against you. We invented this we want to give people the opportunity to smoke the cigar at the optimal level.
The Chooch cigar.
Can you believe it? The Blanco 9 Chooch.
¿Cómo va? ¿Está bien, oye?
¿Qué dice? ¿Cómo está?
Finally, I can answer the question. Anything new?
Yeah.
And we have some cool new stuff from Olivan.
This is a passion for me. It's not a job.
Your love and passion for this is,
I love it.
unbelievable.
That's why we can make pipes out of this variety of corn.
11 years ago, I went back. I bought the rights to everything La Polina.
Sure, it's family.
And restarted the brand again as a tribute to my grandfather.
It's nice because you get to see a lot of your friends. You got to remember, I've been doing this for 30 years, so a lot of these people are like family.
Build a platform where we could celebrate boutique cigars.
Leave Starlight House blend for one store in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Join forces of pipe tobacco and superheroes.
I always look forward to the Super Bowl events, and I always looked at the trade show as just one of those things.
We're not just selling cigars. We try to live our lives, and we use this as a means to share our stories and to really create community.
Hold on, man. Wow, man. You got me.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining.